Also in developing news, deliberations are now underway in the trial for the woman accused of starting the Rochester house fire that killed a 5-year-old boy. The jury was handed the case after hearing from the boy's doctor today. They did not hear from the defendant, who chose not to take the stand. Kendra Simpson joins us once again live from the Hall of Justice with more on all that and closing arguments. Kendra.
Yes, thank you, Adam. Over the last week, the jurors have heard from multiple characters connected to the Hendrix arson trial, including Malakai's babysitter, his physician, firefighters, and police officers who responded to the scene, and even the defendant's own sister, Taquida Hendrix. Now, today, the prosecution and defense presented their own summations of the case. Now, defense said earlier that this is, quote, a more tragic case that they have seen during their summation today. However, the tragedy alone could not convict Hendrix. The defense pointed out inconsistencies throughout the trial, including a brief moment when Taquida Hendrix admitted to lying while on the stand. The prosecution, however, showed several items of evidence that allegedly prove that Hendrix is guilty, including forensic evidence, video footage, and testimonies of witnesses. The district attorney described this trial saying, quote, "This isn't a complicated case." He concluded his summation by saying, quote, "Malakai Stovall would have been here if it weren't for the actions of Taquida Hendrix."
Motive is not an element of this crime, but I think motive tells us why this happened. And I think in this case, it is clear that the motive was that the defendant believed that the people who attacked her father earlier that day lived at 1290 Portland Avenue. And I think that is the reason why this happened.
Now begins the process of deliberations for the jury, where they decide whether or not Taquida Hendrix is responsible for the murder of Malakai Stovall. This process could be over as early as tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. As always, News 8 will continue to provide updates to this story as they become available. Until then, at the Hall of Justice, Kendra Simpson, News 8. Back to you at the desk.
Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand. Plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.